February 14th, 1990. So while the world is celebrating St. Valentine's Day, life for me was about to take a big turn. Fighting with my younger brother, got to sit by the window on the aeroplane. And anyone who has a younger sibling knows that they always get their way. I was the older one, which just sucks. But I just gave in, and there was me fighting with him. For the first time, I see blue skies and green fields. We're in India at the moment, on a holiday with my family. The next thing is, I hear my grandmother's voice. Tulsi, you've been involved in a plane crash. Mum, Dad, and Kamlesh, that's my brother, are no more. And that you look different. Now, what does looking different to a 10-year-old actually mean? Did somebody dye my hair? Am I finally blonde? Nope. So, with her voice being very, very crystal clear, in my head, I actually thought she's come on the plane to surprise us on this family trip. I left her back in the UK 2 weeks ago. But my grandmother, of that time and generation, was like an iron lady, never showed her emotions, but she's crying. So why are you crying if you're surprising us on the plane? But then I hear another voice, which is not familiar. Tulsi, I'm a young medic at the hospital in Bangalore. I'm going to be taking care of you. All the doctors are attending to the casualties on the air site. But don't worry, I'm going to take care of you. For me, that voice could have been the air steward. In and out of sedation, in and out of the theatre to basically treat me for smoke inhalation. I'm now flown over to the UK via air ambulance. Now I'm greeted by my other family members at the hospital in St Andrews, Billericay in Essex. Aunties and uncles, similar kind of emotion, crying, Tulsi, you've been involved in a plane crash, but don't worry, we're going to take care of you. In my head, I'm still Tulsi, that's boisterous, is the prankster in the school playground, is the one fighting the bullies in the playground, because even at that young age, I just couldn't see any injustice happening in front of my face. Because if any injustice did happen, I will be there. I spent more time at the head teacher's office than I probably did in the classroom. But if that's where I got to learn life, then that's where I got to learn life. So with that kind of attitude, I thought, this is no big deal. And I come 4 weeks after my accident. Tulsi, would you like to see yourself in the mirror? Of course I would. What does looking different actually mean? Like I said, I thought I'm going to finally be blonde. Now, here's that mirror. Staring back at me wasn't Tulsi. I actually thought somebody drew this face on, because surely no one can look like this. I looked down at my left hand, and it was red raw with scars, metal rods sticking out the fingers to straighten them. I looked down, and the kind of person that I am was, this is no big deal. In a year's time, we're going to have this cloth, magic cloth, and it's all going to go away. Well, I'm pleased to say that those scars haven't gone away because they are totally a part of me. I love them, I own them, and they decorate my body. How do you get there? How do you get to a point where you're so confident within yourself? It's not easy. So with that in mind, I left hospital really just full of enthusiasm. Everyone's accepted me for being me. I've left now, and it's the journey to and from school, the journey to and from hospital, where real life actually begins. You are so ugly, you should die. People crossing the road in case they caught something. Young children throwing things at me to see what kind of emotions I have, constantly sniggering behind my back, following me home just to laugh at me. That was my norm. Anyone that I shared this with was like, Tulsi, it's part and parcel of looking different. This is what you need to expect. You know something? In my world, that's not acceptable. Not acceptable at all. So years and years, just feeling this bitterness inside my body, not being able to share it with anyone. Day by day, my dreams are diminishing day by day. I want to create a world where there's justice. I want to create a world where there's just love and compassion. How was I going to do that if I don't feel good about myself? How am I going to do that if I don't believe in myself? So with all that in mind, I went through various education, job opportunities, rejection upon rejection upon rejection. Your face does not fit our company. Rejection upon rejection. Who's going to marry you? Rejection upon rejection. You're not good enough. That's all I've known. So one day, while I was signing on at the job centre, I was at a bus stop. A car pulls up. There's 4 guys in there. Back in the day, used to have the wind-up windows in the car, if you remember that. So they wound down the window, shouting, "Oi, you're so ugly, you should die." So I turned around and I looked at the bus stop, except I realised there was no one there except me. That was targeted to me. There was a choice. 1 foot on the curb and 1 on the road. There's a bus coming. I've got a choice. Now, the difference is, whatever choice I took was a choice I have to live with. And the one thought that came into my head was, if I don't turn up at the job centre and they call my grandparents, and should I survive, they're going to give me hell. So, took my foot back, got on that bus, got to the job centre and made it there. And the lady at the job centre said, "You look like you've seen a ghost. Let's sit down here." Now, if anyone's been to the job centre, you know it's not a pleasant experience, and they're certainly not nice. But she was amazing. She was so compassionate. And, she shaped a lot of my thinking that day. She treated me with care and compassion. She treated me as a human being. She treated me like I matter. And that instilled the justice that I was feeling inside. That instilled why I used to fight the bullies in the playground. She got me a cab home, and I got home and I reflected on the fact that she believed in me. She gave me the hope, because day in, day out, when people are telling me you're not good enough, who's going to look after you? Who's going to marry you? Who's going to employ you? That's all I knew. But this woman gave me an opportunity. So don't get me wrong, nothing, changed overnight. But every day I kept chipping at myself to work on my self-worth, work on my self-value, and work on my self-confidence. And then I enrolled at a degree at my local university. I loved it. Studying anatomy and physiology, I was engrossed in it. Feeling really, really sick. So I got myself tested at the GP. It came back that I had high blood pressure, which not a really big deal, but they rushed me to A&E. Within 20 minutes, I was on a ward. Within 24 hours, I had biopsies of my kidneys. My kidneys were fine as far as I was concerned. To then be told, "Tulsi, you have end-stage renal failure." To which I heard, "You are dying." My auntie at the time who was with me, she said, "No, please listen to what they're saying. You have 2 choices." Back to choices. You can either be on dialysis or have a transplant. What kind of choice is that? So I said, okay, that's fine. Can I get back to university? So no idea how long my kidneys were failing. And at this point, I just want to get back to university, get back to doing the degree that I love. I'm basically pretending this didn't happen. My kidneys failed within 4 months. So within 4 months, I was training how to use a dialysis machine. How am I going to finish this degree? How am I going to do this? Every night I dialyzed, put the textbook on my bed, put my laptop, dialyzed for 8 hours, went to university in the morning. I graduated with a 2-1, which is the most amazing achievement with all the things that I've been through. And just 2 months after graduation, I received a phone call, "Miss Vagjiani, we have a kidney for you." "That's great. When can I let you know if I can come in?" 5 minutes. "Oh, I was going to say, can we not delay it for a week?" Tulsi, you don't realize this is quite serious. This is a life-changing operation. I know, but I've got a meeting with the builders and the architects tomorrow. Can I just not delay this? He goes, this is not your time for playing jokes. We need you in now. So I had my transplant, and you know something? It was great. Everything was fine. Everything was functioning. But then what happened is, if you read those medicine leaflets, you know the 1 in 10 and the 1 in 100 and 1 in 150 and all that. I was in 1 in 200,000 that experienced this experience. My kidney wasn't just only rejecting, but my body was shutting down. I had no white blood cells. They put me into a room and I had my last rites read 3 times. At which point I was like, is this how it's always going to be? If it is, I don't want this. And then in the midst of all of this, I meet a consultant. Hi, I'm Dr. Ajit James. You won't remember me, but I looked after you when you had your accident. I was that young medic. And I was like, wow, life is really all about synchronicity. And that's when I learned my life wasn't just ordinary. My life was extraordinary. So after having had my last rites read, I saw this image of Lord Krishna. I'm not particularly religious. I come from a Hindu background. I don't know much about it. But I see this image of Lord Krishna, very, very clear. And I looked around the ward at night and I thought, obviously, a lot of medications make you, hallucinations. I looked around and I thought, no one can see him, but he was clear. Now, I know I'm intelligent, but these words are not mine. Surrender unto me what you cannot control. Huh? What? Why are you saying this to me? Surrender unto me what you cannot control. As quick as that, he disappeared. Again, don't get me wrong, it doesn't change overnight. But what did change is my journey of self-love started. And that Tulsi who's fighting injustices in the playground, she's back. She's back because she wants to see the change. I am the change that I want to see in the world. I am putting in the work day in, day out, working on my self-love, working on my confidence. And actually, for everyone who rejected me, this is me saying, I'm going to show up as me. And not only that, I'm going to show up for everyone with a visible difference, a visible disability, that they matter, I matter, and we matter. In 2015, I became a catwalk model. I've done a lot of work with Katie Piper and her charity, the Katie Piper Foundation. That instilled a lot of confidence within me. And now, that's what I do. I do modeling. I'm a transformational visionary. I want to see the change in this world. And until I don't see every person with a visible difference out there living their dreams, I will still continue campaigning. I will still continue talking. And I will still be instilling love and confidence and compassion in every single human until that narrative changes. I am about flipping scripts. I am about being the change that I want to see in the world. And I hope this inspires you to be the change you wish to see in the world. And as my title suggests, is it luck or life's calling? Thank you very much.